Live. We're there for you. ABC4 News at 5 starts now.
Good evening, I'm Glenn Mills.
And I'm Emily Flores. We thank you for joining us here this evening. A Utah charter school canceling classes after officials say students were called out by name on social media and threatened.
Now police are investigating two 14-year-olds. An email sent out late Sunday night to parents of students at Entheos Academy in both Magna and Kearns, telling them to keep their children at home. Police say the threat against Magna coming from a 14-year-old former student who ran away from home, and police have not found her to this point. In the meantime, police say they've spoken to the 14-year-old who made the threat against the Kearns school, saying he was never a student at the school and also did not have access to guns. He is back with his parents tonight.
Parents can be found criminally and financially responsible for situations like this. And so it's important for parents to pay attention.
The district attorney will now determine appropriate charges, and it's unclear if the teenager's parents will face recourse. Tomorrow, classes at both schools will pick back up with more police on both campuses.
The Bridegan family is looking to turn their grief into something positive. Roughly 10 months ago, 33-year-old Jared Bridegan was shot dead in front of his 2-year-old daughter while they were driving home.
Jared's wife, Kristen, has since formed a foundation to help kids like her own deal with this trauma. ABC4's Jordan Burrows talking to the widow and the women behind this new initiative night. He's live in studio with that story. Jordan.
Glenn and Emily, it's called Bexley Box, named after Jared and Kirsten's daughter, Bexley. Bexley was in the car the night her dad was shot 4 times after he got out of that vehicle to move a tire blocking the road. Investigators say they've still not identified any suspects. But as far as these Bexley boxes are concerned, they're created to help kids deal with any grief or trauma as they arrive at police stations. Kirsten tells me this helps her cope with the loss of her husband and solves a problem that police stations have never addressed. It contains essentials like diapers, pre-mixed formula bottles, baby wipes, blankets, stuffed animals, and snacks. Because of Bexley's experience at the police station following her father's death, Kirsten brainstormed Bexley Box and brought it to life.
Just a therapeutic way for Bexley and myself to make something good come from this insane evil that we've encountered. And I know that Jared would be proud of that.
The Bexley boxes are filled by the Bridegan Foundation, which was founded in September. This is thanks to donations from the community. And then as kids use the items, they're refilled. The goal is to get a Bexley box into multiple police stations throughout Utah. The Bridegan Foundation has already raised more than $7,500, but still needs the community's help. If you'd like to donate, whether that's toys, snacks, or even money, you can visit our website, abc4.com, and click on this story. Back to you guys.
All right, Jordan. We thank you. Time now for a first look at the forecast on this Monday.
Chief Meteorologist Alana Brophy standing by, and it is a cold start to the work week, Alana.
It's a cold start to the holiday week, Glenn. Goodness gracious, those temperatures out there struggling to hit freezing today, and single digits already in Cache Valley. We are socked in certain locations. 20s in Ogden, dropped down from freezing to the upper 20s in Salt Lake. We've peaked for the day, and now it's going to get cold. We've got those 20s in Utah County, 45 in St. George. Check out the sunset and our layer of smog. It's been building for days. This is our ABC4 Ensign peak camera. And yes, folks, this is actually what we've been breathing in. Gorgeous sunset there. Increasing clouds, which you're noticing on that live camera. And that's associated with a weak disturbance headed our way. But first, we've got to talk about this bad air. We've been battling it for days and today. And right now, we're sitting in that unhealthy for sensitive groups category. If you have respiratory issues, you're feeling this out there in Davis, Salt Lake, and Cache Valleys. We were in Box Elder at the top of the hour, just mixing into that as well. So we know the northern Wasatch Front dealing with some rough conditions. We've got moderate air in eastern Utah and over into Tooele County. Okay, we've got to talk about the cold, because not only does the inversion trap cold air on the valley floor, but we've got air coming from Canada that we're dragging down into the Beehive State. We've got Arctic air impacting the northern United States. But let's look at Utah, because we've got this northwesterly flow, which means we take that cold air, and as we head into Tuesday, it really holds steady. Temperatures way below average and a cold storm on the way. We're going to look at the timing and the expectations of that coming up in my full forecast. Glenn, Emily, over to you.
Alana, thank you. New information tonight after the search for a suspect shuts down roads in the Rose Park area last night. Police say 22-year-old Angel Tinajero was the man behind the alleged aggravated assault and kidnapping. Officers flocking to the area of 10th North American Beauty Drive after reports Tina Harrell, fired a gun at the person whose car he was trying to break into. Another homeowner says that he broke into her home as well and trapped her there for several hours. Police were able to book him and found the gun they believe he fired at least 4 times. Police say no one was injured.
And in consumer news at this hour, Utahns are flocking to the airports, heading out to visit family and friends for the holidays. And AAA is predicting holiday flights to hit pre-pandemic numbers today. The Salt Lake City International Airport seeing long lines, and it's expected to get even busier throughout the week with an estimated 30,000 passengers coming through on Thursday, Friday, and Monday. But even though travel can be a headache, passengers today saying it's all worth it.
I'm really excited to see my family more than anything. Haven't seen them for a couple months.
Okay, so to beat the rush with holiday travel, officials do say come 2 to 3 hours before your flight to the airport. Reserve your parking and double check what is allowed on a carry-on ahead of time.
Tonight marks the second night of 8 in the celebration of Hanukkah. ABC4 Northern Utah correspondent Cade Gardner reports in Ogden from the oldest continually operating synagogue in Utah and gives us a look at its rich history of keeping tradition alive.
This is the congregation Brit Shalem.
There's a thing in Judaism called Tikkun Olam, which is repair the world, and it's to do good while you're here.
The Jewish community has been doing good in Ogden for more than a century and holding services in this synagogue.
Yeah, we're here, we're nice, get to know us.
Sue Tice is on the board of directors.
The message of Hanukkah is one of hope, that no matter how small a community you are, you can rise up against evil and overcome it.
That message is evident in the history of the synagogue. The building was completed in 1921, but the history of the synagogue goes back much further than that. For 30 years, the first Jewish residents held services at a storefront on 25th Street before building the synagogue, and in 1989, vandals struck.
The inside was pretty trashed, and we rebuilt with the help of the community and various other churches and religious organizations and donations.
Tragedy nearly struck again in 2021 when a massive fire destroyed half a dozen homes in the neighborhood before being put out just feet away from the synagogue. And Tice says with the recent rise in anti-Semitism, the synagogue is increasing security measures, including stationing a police officer outside during services.
When you live in a community that has less than a handful of Jewish organizations along the Wasatch Front, it's very easy to find something if you're looking to cause distress.
During this holiday season, she hopes people will reach out and get to know more about those who come from different backgrounds.
We can bring light to the world if you stand up for what's right.
Reporting in Ogden, Cade Garner, ABC4 News.
The man known as Grandpa Brian to neighboring pet owners receiving a gift for his generosity this holiday season.
Oh my goodness. So ABC4 brought you the story of Grandpa Brian. He wakes up at 4 a.m. every day to feed strays. That's the video you're seeing. So then he waits a few hours for what he calls his customers, all the dogs who live in his building. Every day, Brian takes out treats from his stash to feed the good boys and girls who pass his home. He says it's been a great pastime while he recovers from recent surgeries.
And I found that it helps me as much as it helps the dogs.
All right, this is our best feel-good story. After dishing out endless treats and goodies for neighboring pets, the dog treat brand Milkbone set Grandpa Brian up with enough treats to last a good while, bulking his massive stash up even more.
Milkbone leaving Brian a note saying this: "We saw your heartwarming story and so appreciate the time you spend caring for the dogs in your community." Still ahead, the January 6th House Committee finishing its last public hearing, the criminal charges they want filed against former President Donald Trump.
And there's that live look at Lehigh, Utah County getting chilly. We've got clouds moving in associated with a weak disturbance. Does it bring impacts for your Tuesday? And when do we see snow again? Coming up in Utah's most accurate forecast.